Wakanda forever!
Hello, hello. Hi, Mandy.
Hi, Miss Janet. How are you?
I am good. Welcome, welcome, Family Talk Fridays. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. And if you can hear us right now, please put some hearts in the chat, some pink hearts. We are honoring this month for Cancer Awareness Month, and we're going to be talking about how it affects our families and the different things that we can do to get through this time when it gets scary when we do get diagnosed with something so big like this. So thank you everyone for being here again. My name is Janet Alvarado. We are here with the Global Women Wealth Warriors Society, and we are honoring this month for Cancer Awareness Month. And we would like to talk about it. So Mandy, thank you so much for being here, being part of this segment. And tell me a little bit, have you been affected by cancer in your family?
More so close family friends than immediate family members. But yeah, it's a scary diagnosis. I just had a dear friend of mine receive the diagnosis, and I asked her husband. I said, "What do you need?" And he goes, "Right now, just prayers." He goes, "I've got a freezer full of food." He goes, "We're still starting the process to even see what the plan is, how bad it is, all of that." But he said the hardest part was that mental challenge, dealing with the emotions right now. And that's where I mean, it's always hard. And, you know, personally, it's the ones that have always gotten me, of course, are when the kids get the diagnosis, watching the kids struggle with that and stuff. So, it's one thing when adults do, but it's really hard when kids struggle with that or anything like that. So it's just that process of doing it all together.
And you know what? And that's the most important part, is that we're together and we're going through it together as a family. And my family was affected by it over 2 decades ago when my niece, she was 10 years old, and she got diagnosed with leukemia. And it was hard for my cousin because then she came down with cancer later on, with breast cancer. So they say it's 10%. 10% of cancer is connected to our genes, hereditary. But we all have the cancer gene within our bodies. Certain things affect it and bring it out. And we were trying to figure it out. And they had just moved into this new house. And we noticed that a lot around the house was a lot of electrical poles. There was a little electrical station like a couple blocks over. So we were thinking, I wonder if that has anything to do with, So we started researching and talking about it. And ultimately, when she changed her food habits, her eating, the food made a big impact in their health. My niece was able to fight it, and she survived it, and she's now over 20 years cancer free. So, and she's a mother of three beautiful children, and so it's possible. Cancer is not the end all, or we just go through it, and as a family unit they came together and changed things. And my cousin also became cancer free after removing her breast and changing our eating habits. And Vandy, I know you have not things, but in your family, you had to change your eating habits and the way you guys ate as a family. Can you share a little bit with that? And I'm sure because you went natural, it affected your health.
It is, and it is interesting. You talk about eating habits. Almost every friend I know who has, fought cancer, a lot of them, and it depends on the doctor and the route they choose, of course, but a lot of my friends have gone the route where the doctors have told them to change their eating habits. Cut out all processed foods, cut out all sugars, cut out, a lot of them suggest vegan, get rid of the gluten, all of these things that we talk about. And that's one of the things I've noticed. So in my family, immediate family, my kids and I, we have a rare diagnosis. It's called esophageal esophagitis, EOE. I can't always say it right. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, don't give me crap in the comments, okay? If you've ever even heard of it, you can give me, drop me a pink heart right there if you've even ever heard of this disease. But, the first diagnosis, we had met with a nutritionist, and my daughter was 5'9" and 100 pounds, and the doctor wanted her to put on some weight, and she wanted me to add butter and cream and to all of her dishes. And I went, I don't like that plan. Anyway, then we met with the GI specialist. They did an endoscopy, which is where they put you to sleep and they do a scope down your throat and they take biopsies of your whole esophagus, take pictures of your stomach and everything like that. And that's where she got the diagnosis. And they kind of had two options you could go with. One was to treat it with steroids and what do they call it? PPE, which is, antacids, a high dose of antacids. My daughter was 16. That wasn't a route with the long-term effects that I really wanted her to go with as I started diving in and studying this out. So we shifted to a more natural approach. So I looked at, we cut out dairy completely, and it's not easy. Dairy is hidden in so many things. In fact, the other day I had to toss out salt and vinegar chips because it had dairy in it. I have no idea how or why, but it is. And it's reading the labels because it's not, every brand can be different. Every flavor of the brands can be different. So it's a lot of reading labels. I mean, you guys drop some orange hearts in the comments if you have to read labels and pay attention to labels now, because it's such a challenge. But anyway, we did that. We talked with some doctors. We added some digestive aids. We added some probiotics, some prebiotics. We started taking Protandim to reduce her, all the inflammation. Everything I could do and target with is something that we really, really worked on. And so because of that focus, it'll never be cured. Let me make sure I clarify that. But we were able to, reduce the flare-ups. We were able to reduce some of the problems, and it'll be something she'll have to do for her entire life. And, and that is a challenge. But being proactive, I remember, gosh, it's probably been 10 years ago. We went with some friends in Hawaii who were very conscientious of their eating habits, kind of before it was the cool thing to do. It's very common right now. But 10 years ago, it wasn't as, it was harder to find dairy-free items and stuff. And my husband made the comment, he goes, it's just so expensive sometimes to eat healthy. And my friend gave me the best advice ever. And she said, you pay now or pay later. She goes, that's how I look at it. You'll either pay for better quality food right now, or you'll pay in your health problems later. And to me, it was that mind shift, completely shifting my mind that really, really changed. I don't know how I thought about this.
You made a great point, Vandy, when you said it's mindset. When we shift our mindset, oh my goodness. And I just this morning talking to a spiritual coach, and she said, you know, the good and bad is in everything and everywhere around us, but it's how you see it. And if you see the good as in a lesson, at the bad as a lesson. So we are spiritual humans having a human experience. No, have you heard that saying? No, we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. And whatever will come, everything that has happened in our lives, we should say thank you. And everything that's coming, we should say yes. As in the things that happen, good or bad, we should always say thank you, because either it gave us a lesson to learn or a gift. So thank you always for those lessons of our past. And we got sick, or for me, Vandy, I had to when I started reading labels and things like that, it was because I came down with arthritis. But shifting our eating habits for a lot of us comes when we get diagnosed with something. And let's change that mindset. Let's change that thinking and just know that, our bodies are our vessels that carry life. Because if it wasn't for our bodies, where would we be? So let's take care of our bodies. And reading the labels is so important. They say if you can't pronounce it, if you don't know what it is, why are you putting it in your body? And a lot of times, unfortunately, the processed foods does have chemicals that can affect our health. And so it's so important to definitely stay away from those things that have chemicals.
And I mean, there's some things we take that I can't pronounce. I can't pronounce all of the names of the probiotic, but I do the research on the company. I do the research on things that I identify with. If it's a doctor, if it's a friend, if it's somebody that I can I trust, but and doing their research. But it's a lot more work. I mean, to eat healthy, you've got to be, one of the tricks that I have learned for us is to be more prepared, to make that menu plan, to get the shopping done, and then to meal prep. So I have, those items on there. And, you don't, like when you said, a lot of us wait for the diagnosis. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff we can do to prevent. Our body's the only place we have to live. It's not like my phone that I can go out and be like, hey, I want a new phone, and exchange it. I can't do that with my body. So I've got to take care of my body to, so it is the best. In fact, that reminded me of a cartoon I'm gonna have to go share on my social media with this, but I've got to take care of my body. And that means everything I put in it, everything I put on it, breathing, the water we drink, what we drink out of, I don't know if you saw earlier, I have a glass cup here, because, I try to look at everything. And when somebody asked me once, they said, how do I start? And I gave some ideas on a social media post earlier of starting simple. Start simple with something, maybe it's one vegan meal a week that you add in. Maybe it's making sure you drink your water. Maybe it's making sure you move your body. Queen Renee gave us a statistic that breast cancer is reduced, the chances of getting it is reduced drastically by an increase in our exercise regimen. And, so many of us, wait until we get that terrible diagnosis. And then we try to change everything all at once instead of, let's start today to get preventative, because even if, and cancer is growing, they say that those that get diagnosed, cancer has been growing for 10 to 15 years inside your body before it's detectable right now. So we want to slow that down. We want to stop that. And, and I'm not perfect. We're not perfect in our family at all. But I'm better than I was last year. And that's the only measurement. Because if I compare myself against some of the other incredible people that I've met, in the GW3 crowd, in other health food spaces, who do a lot of things a lot better, I can beat myself up all day long because I'm not that where they're at. But the only person I'm racing against is myself, and being better than I was yesterday, doing everything we can to prevent it. And I talk a lot about that, about the foods we eat, the supplements we do, about activating our bodies to get rid of the garbage, because it makes such a difference in the long run.
And it does, Vandy. It does make a big difference in the long run. When you start putting stuff in your mouth, you should think, will my future self appreciate this? And what's my future self going to look like this if I keep continuing to eat this? Thank you so much for sharing that. And I would like to ask the audience. Have you been affected by cancer? And if you have been affected, if your family has been affected by cancer, what did you do as a family to get through it? Now, I'm going to go down into our clubhouse and ask one of our GW3 warriors. Tahita, are you available, Tahita?
I am. Thank you so much, Janice. I hope you can hear me okay. I am available. And you were saying how breast cancer affected me and my family. Yes, my mom had breast cancer when I was 24. My sister's here, and she had to correct me. I thought I was 22, but she's like, "No, mom had cancer in 2004." So I was 24. And my sister had cancer. We really couldn't do the year with that one. I think she said it was around 2007, 2008 when my sister had cancer. But both of them did survive cancer, breast cancer. My mom, she had, it was just her right breast, but she did get double mastectomies. And they did completely take the cancer out. It never did spread into her lymph nodes, thank God. But it was funny because the doctor, when we were all there with her, when she got diagnosed, I was telling the story earlier, the doctor told us that one of us were going to get the cancer. One of us was going to get breast cancer. So we had to keep up with our mammograms, keep up with our exams. So we had to make sure, we kept up on it, because the doctor said he could not tell us when, or he could not tell us who, but he did say one of us was going to get it. My older sister ended up getting it a few years later. And actually hers was a bit aggressive, but she's good now. But hers was aggressive. It was her breast, and also it was her right lymph nodes, like all of her lymph nodes in her right arm. Oh, my sister just corrected me. Her left. It was her left arm, and all of her lymph nodes are gone in her left arm. So now she has like a little bit of lymphedema, but yeah, and she was a little emotional. Like, she was emotional with hers. It was, and that's why I say, like, mental health with breast cancer is very important as well, to always be there, for your loved one. Because, that's what we had to be there for my sister. We went to her doctor's appointments with her, because she was, she really took it hard, but hers was more aggressive. and she don't have any kids, so it's just us. Like I said, I'm the youngest of 4 girls, so it's just, you know, me and my older sisters, but we were always there for her. But that's what it's really about, and I'm sure Queen Cheryl can say it's very important to have somebody there for you when you going through that battle. You know, the flowers and the gifts and everything. It's good, it's awesome, but just to have somebody there holding your hand, telling you that it's going to be okay, you're going to be there for them is the most important to me, and what I had to go through with my family. But I mean, I am like a huge breast cancer awareness person. Like we have our ribbons, we have our pink, so and another thing, like I had, and my sister, she said I have tattoos. Yeah, we got tattoos. Another thing too, I had got the BRCA genetic, the BRCA gene test, and
We lost Tahita. Tahita, we lost you. And that was such a great conversation and what you did as a family. And she mentioned changing responsibilities, as a family unit. There's Tahita. Tahita, would you like to finish up?
I'm sorry. I guess I probably was talking too much, Jen.
No, that's okay.
But I was just talking about the BRCA test. I got it, and mine was negative. I don't know what that means. If I have breasts, I can get cancer. So I don't know what that negative thing come from. But I just feel as if I got breasts, I can get cancer. So but yeah. So back to you, Janet. Sorry about that.
No, Tahita, what was that BRCA test? What is that?
Yeah, it's called the BRCA. Yeah, the BRCA. What is it? How do you pronounce it again?
That part I wouldn't remember. I just know it's
BRCA.
Yeah, BRCA. BRCA. It's a genetic marker that makes you more predisposed for breast cancer. It doesn't mean a guarantee of getting breast cancer, but it does mean you're more predisposed for getting it. I too had that same test done. For that one, I was negative, but apparently I'm positive for a colon one. But that's a whole other story. But yes, that is a test that you can get done. And if you have a genetic history of breast cancer and cancer in general, many insurance plans will cover it. I know my plan covered it, actually covered an in-depth one because of my genetic background. But that is something that is available to get done. And then that does give you a little bit more idea if you have a predisposition for breast cancer. Back to you, Jenith.
Deborah, what was that again? The VICA test?
VRCA.
VRCA.
Yes. Hey, family, let's do this. I know we got the live show going on right now, Janet Alvarado, but we have our very own Natasha Murphy that's in the space right now, guys. If everybody could please put some pink hearts in the chat. She's currently right now at the doctor's office, but we wanted to hear her voice. We want to give her some good spirit. Natasha, how are you doing, my friend?
I am well. I am super excited to just be in the space with you guys to discuss this. I am actually going through that trial right now. I was diagnosed in 2014 with breast cancer and diagnosed again in 2022, March of 2022. I went through chemo, and I am going to have a dual mastectomy on Tuesday of next week. So I'm at the doctor's office now to do some testing prior to the surgery. And like you guys said, that people that are going through this trial do need that support. And I did have a lot of support while going through, including Renee. She has been such a beautiful individual as she is, and she has came over and she's always give me a call or a text, checking on me to see how I'm doing. It was an aggressive breast cancer. It was triple negative. And triple negative is likened to having 3 locks on your door, and all of them are open. So that's what triple negative that's what I can relate it to. And so that means that it's extremely aggressive. It has not moved to any of the lymph nodes, according to what the doctor says. Also, in August of 2022, was my last chemotherapy, and the last PET scan that I had showed that there's no evidence or any signs of cancer in my body at all now. So I am cancer free. I will not say remission. I do not use that term because remission indicates that there's a possibility of cancer to return. I am cancer free, and I am super, super grateful, super just thankful that I am here to see another day and be in the space with other individuals who have experience with it, and also relatives that has gone through the trial. It's been a journey. I can't say that it hasn't been, but it is a challenge that I have finally conquered, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter in my life. And I'm actually writing a book now to help other individuals who are or have been going through the same trial. So with that being said, I will yield the mic. I love you all much, and I am muting.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Oh my gosh. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Natasha, for being here. I was like, really appreciate you. And she's at the doctor's office and she's cancer free. Yay! So proud of you. I'm so happy for you, Natasha. I've seen you go through your journey and you are one strong woman. And they just put up the link of the BRC, the BRCA test, and I will be sharing that on YouTube and Facebook if anybody's interested in taking that test. There's Vandy.
I'm back. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, everything went black and I couldn't see anybody, so I had to get back in here. But another thing people should do right now is everybody should schedule a mammogram. Make sure you're getting tested. October is a great time to schedule it because we're all thinking about breast cancer. And another thing, with the mammograms, when I looked it up on my local thing, our hospital has a thing where you can prepay for different surgeries if you are, and sometimes that can even be cheaper than your copays. But the mammograms is on sale for half price for the month of October. So look at what's going on in your town. It may be a good time to do that and to see, what's going on and what's happening. So
Thank
but
you
I'm
for
so
that.
excited for Natasha to be cancer free. That's just wonderful, wonderful news.
Yay, for sure. Thank you, Natasha, again. And thank you, Vandy. That was a great tip. 50% off mammograms this month, you said. So definitely look for those deals out there. And, self-check as well. Always check yourself. Now, for women, it's under the armpit and around the breast area. And I haven't heard anything regarding men and how they would know, but I'm sure for prostate cancer, like my uncle has been fighting for the last year, it was hard for him to urinate. So things like that definitely get checked. Don't ignore your body talking to you, because our bodies do talk to us when they tell us something's wrong, and so we need to listen. But I would like to take it to our clubhouse and talk to Cheryl. Now, Cheryl, she's a survivor, and she actually came on a live with us on our YouTube and Facebook. Was on Wednesday. And I hope you can catch that replay because her story is amazing and it's inspiration. And you can learn a lot from our survivors and thrivers out there in this world. And just like Game Changer, just like she's writing a book to tell her story. So it's so important to get it out there. Cheryl, I would like to know if you have, are you available to talk and tell us a little bit about your story and how it affected your family? Cheryl, take it away. Cheryl, you're on mute.
guys hear me?
There you are. We can hear you.
Hi everyone. My name is Cheryl Brown, founder and CEO of Lift to Tail Cancer Support Outreach. I actually am a 3 times breast cancer survivor, but I'm walking into an educational zone right now. And I want to make sure I let everybody know I'm not a doctor. I don't profess to know everything. I'm just based on what I'm about to share is based on my knowledge and the things I experienced that helped me to be able to help others. And with me helping others are things that I've seen firsthand with cancer patients, not just breast, but all forms of cancer. But I want to let everyone know, and that's through my nonprofit that I, have this experience. But I also want to give a shout out to all the survivors out there, whether you're going through, you're thriving, and woo-hoo, as our queen says, Queen Renee say for her inspiration to Natasha. That was awesome to be at the doctor's appointment, getting ready to get marked up for a double mastectomy. Now, that's courage right there, you guys. That's courage. She sounds strong. Her strength was just amazing. We have individuals who actually have transpired in this process. We have family members who are still wondering how come they're having to go through different challenges after they've been through cancer. These are thrivers, everyone. Those are thrivers. And I know that we're talking about family, and I want to just touch on the fact that I am from a 7th generation that has had cancer on my mother's side. My mother had cancer. She died of multiple myeloma. I said it. Yay! Multiple myeloma. She had breast cancer as well. It was discovered through the multiple myeloma because that's a disease, that's a cancer disease that's in the bone marrow, that breaks down your bone and it travels throughout your body. The blood and the bone is all connected to that. So as my family concerned, cancer affect my mother, my mother's mother, her mother, and then it affected like one of my aunts, but not breast. It was other type of cancer. From the female part of it was ovarian, colon, and I think the lips. I can't get it out. I'm sorry. Of the vagina area. But me being 24, when I was diagnosed, I had to get a total mastectomy. And as I was talking to Sister Renee earlier, and can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry, Tahita. Excuse me, forgive me for not getting it correct. I was telling her that when I got my mastectomy done, I actually had a saline implant installed. At 24, I shut down. After I got the mastectomy and got the saline implant, I acted like it was nothing. I just shut down, which is something no one should ever do. No one should ever do that. Because when you shut down, you're walking with that hurt, bitterness. It triggers off into the family. It makes you feel like you're not part of the family. Your mind just start taking you into another realm. But with my situation, I hid behind a smile, so my family thought, oh, she good. She done bounced back and she ready to go and move on. But family are truly affected when another loved one is told they have cancer. And as I spoke earlier, and I said, any small gesture would help that patient just to know you understand, you're there. You don't have to say much, just be a listening ear and show that you love them. as well as being present when you feel that or you see they're in a different zone. Because not all the time everybody's going to be able to discuss and share, which I was proud to hear Natasha, share that so openly. Everybody's not like that. No one situation is the same as no diagnosis is the same. She has triple arsecanol. I can never pronounce that. I told Renee to pronounce the type that I have and everything because of the fact that when it comes to medical terms, you have to know, what it is. You know what entails to it. My type of cancer was rare. And it was rare because it wasn't supposed to happen to a 21-year-old. It was meant for an older person. But because of the cancer history, and we can't really get to the point of it in our family, the BRCA, B-R-A-C-A, gene testing that everyone is talking about in here, I had that test during my third battle. That is what helped me to understand the type of cancer I had. And I was tested negative, but as the other lady was speaking, she explained it so well, the BRCA gene testing. It is true. She turned out negative for one part and positive for another, but does that mean she's going to get it? No, it doesn't. It just tells her to be cautious of what it is that she do that could trigger these things. So now because it showed a positive on one of her testing, she needs to start looking up things to prevent that to come to play. Now, should she go cut a colon out? I think that's what it was. No, don't go cut your colon out. Just be cautious of things that you put in. And someone else spoke on the mic that if you can't read it, don't put it in your body. If the first three things on the back of the ingredients is nothing that you can pronounce, why are you, like she said, why are you putting it in your body? Now that I have become knowledgeable about this and seeing for myself, I read it. And if it's something on there that I'm being disobedient about, will I eat the sugar cupcake at a birthday party? Will I cut the piece of cake? Yes, but I make sure I watch how much is going in my body. Now, to get us back into the family topic, back to the BRCA gene testing, I had to ask questions in order to find out during my third battle with cancer who all had cancer in the family. It was a hush-hush situation when I was 24 because I wasn't allowed to touch my body. It was so many restrictions placed on me as a child. So when I found out, it kept me quiet. But with the third battle, I wanted to know why was it constantly coming back to me? It came back 3 times every 7 years. So I wanted to know. So when I got scheduled for my BRCA test, they asked all of these questions. I couldn't answer them because I didn't know. And that's when I found out about the fact that I was the 7th generation, which was a good thing. And I tested negative, but it also made me pay attention to things that was going on around me during my third battle. My 2 daughters had the test. No, my youngest daughter had the test done. My niece has had the test done, and they all have come out negative, even with the fact that I am a breast cancer survivor, 3-time breast cancer survivor, and my mother has had breast cancer and another type of cancer, multi-myeloma type of cancer. So do I agree with the test? Yes, I do. I think it's very helpful to have, but I heard someone on here say that you can get it through your insurance. That's a blessing now that you can, because when I had mine, I was out of pocket and I had to find different types of grants to help me get it. That's something that as a family, we all need to make sure, if we are cancer survivors on this call today, Ask around, find out who has or who has not had, because sometimes we keep it a secret and you don't know. You're probably sitting next to someone right now who has had cancer that doesn't choose to discuss it because they choose, I had it, it's over, and I'm no longer going to think about it. But see, God allowed me to use myself as a living testimony to be able to tell my story. I have a purpose, and that purpose is that I've lived to tell my story, and I'm going to tell it, and I'm going to help those who need my support to get them to and from doctor's appointments, whether it's for me to be in that corner looking at them. Just the presence of me being there, I'm going to be there for them. If they need me and they say they need me, I am there for them. My family, for its support, came out. I got it during my third battle, very, very strong. But the second and the first, I can honestly say I did not, because I kept them from being in that surrounding. So the proper caregiving when you're going through something, it doesn't matter if you're family, it's friends. It's a connection, it's a unity when it comes to the cancer community. It affects the entire family that you are in.
I have a question for you, Ms. Cheryl.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is a game changer. You said that you had a dual mastectomy. I think after the first bout. How did where did it come back to the second and third time? If that is the case, I'm kind of confused with how that works.
Okay. It came back in the same location because I did a segment Thursday, and I think I shared there that how it came back in the same area after I had my breast done. It came up above my breast. You still have tissues around your breast. You got your breast with the inside tissues of the ducts. I wish I should, if I had a picture, I would show you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the chat as soon as I finish. It's where your nipple is. There's different blood vessels that goes to your breast. But you have muscles up by your neck, your collarbone, all the way around your armpit, your lymph nodes, all that area there is connected to your breast. Those things are generated through the vessels that's inside your breast. Is there any nurses on? I wish Jackie was on here, but she can explain it better than I can. But it was found right above my top collarbone area. That was where the second battle came back at. So yes, it was on the same location, the left side of my breast.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for sharing that story, your story. We're going to be getting off our live, but we will be joining the Clubhouse conversation. Vandy, any closing comments? Take it away.
I would just say that I would be, first of all, start simple. Start with something very, very simple, on changing your habits. Start moving, start drinking water. I highly recommend that we add collagen and we add something called Protandim because of it reduces that oxidative stress, and cleans out the trash. And it cleans out the garbage inside our cells. And those are things we want to focus on. We want to focus on, just doing a little bit better. We don't have to go out there and do everything. But yeah, Kathy Carter, KP, absolutely. Start small. Meatless Mondays is a great, great way to start. When I first started doing meatless things, it was a whole challenge. But the more I started buying vegan cookbooks, I started looking at other options and, other more vegetable meals. And we've gotten to where we have quite a few now and stuff. So it does make a huge, huge difference. But do something, add something this week, add something today that you're going to start as a habit and, to improve your health, to improve your family's health. And even if it is just talking to people and asking those stories, asking about the history, we're, Sam's aunt passed away. She's, in her late 80s. But, I started thinking about it. Like that history, those stories are going to be gone if we don't capture them. Ask those grandparents about their family history. Ask about grandma so that we have some of that family history there and get that and do the testing, do those little steps, but decide what you're going to do today and incorporate at least one thing into your diet, one thing into your system that you're going to do today to improve your health so that, what did you say earlier, Janet? Will my future self thank me or curse me for this choice today?
Thank you, Vandy. That is so true. Small steps. Take those small steps to shift and have a new habit, create new healthy habits. So thank you so much for that, Vandy. And also you mentioned cleaning our cells. And how do we connect with you, Vandy, if we need some more information regarding that?
I am at Vandy Flake on all social media aspects, or you can do my 10K card, which is meetvandyflake.com. It's right here on my name. But yes, I would absolutely love to connect with anyone that has questions about what I'm doing or follow me. I try to share some of my tips and what I'm doing on social media because that's how we learn.
That's how we learn. That's right. Thank you so much, Vandy. And now we're going to close up our live, but we so appreciate you being here today on today's segment. The family and how cancer affects our families. So if you're going through anything like that, please connect with others. Watch this video. Share this video with your family, with your friends, and just know that you will get through it. It's a mind change, and help those around you. Help your family to change the mind, change the thinking that cancer is not the end all. No, it's not. There are so many survivors out there that we know with our technology now in the future, cancer is just going to be like another cold. They got the cure. The cure is coming, and we are capable. We are capable to overcome, and we will overcome. You already heard Natasha. She's cancer free, and Cheryl. So it is possible. Never give up hope, and stay in faith. Live in faith. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you, Vandy, again for hosting with me and being my special guest. And we will take it to the clubhouse. Thank you, everyone, for being
here. Janet, are we continuing this segment all of October?
Yes. Well,
so they can catch us. You guys can have Family Talk Friday. Every Friday through October, we're going to be focusing on this health and wellness segment and what we can do with our families with our wonderful host, Janet Alvarado, and her other wonderful co-hosts. So yes, we want to make sure that we are supporting you guys because your shows are absolutely amazing. Yes, I absolutely agree, KP. This has been an amazing, amazing segment, and we'll take it back to Clubhouse.
Thank you, Vandy. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, we are here every Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Family Talk Fridays. And if you have a topic you would like to discuss for Family Talk, please leave it in the comments below. We're always willing to talk to anyone, ask questions, research on things that people want to hear and want to talk about. So don't be afraid to discuss those issues, those hard issues, because we are here with you, going to talk with them. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay wealthy, and stay strong.
Wakanda